Today I'm going to demonstrate making your own apple pie filling. This is a quart I did last year, and it's really handy. It's kind of nice that apples are coming on now, just a month or so before the holidays.
Yes.
So you can get your pie filling all made, and it's really good. So already in this pot, you need a large pot. First I put in this pot the dry ingredients, and I've already put them in. I put 5 cups of sugar, a cup and a half of this clear gel, the non-instant kind. Sometimes it says the cooking kind, but anyway, the kind that can take heat. And then I've put in a tablespoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon of nutmeg, and a teaspoon of ground cardamom. I like to say that, ground cardamom. I've already put 4 cups of water in, and I need 7.5, so I'm going to put another 3.5 cups of water, and 3/4 of a cup of lemon juice. And I'll pour that in. So that's all the ingredients except for the apples. And so right now I just stirred it up with the water. And the next step, I'm going to, I need 6 quarts of apples. And I don't know, I think most of you have seen these little gizmos, but they're very nice. So I'll demonstrate this. There's a little lever that I'm gonna put out so that it'll hold the thing. This is the part that cuts the peel off. So I'm gonna do this apple first, because I found you want fresh apples. I've put off making things with apples just because I'm busy and it's not my favorite job. But if you wait, even though they're a nice apple, if the core is soft, it goes skiwampus and won't cut. So you're trying to do as center as you can between the bottom part and the top part where the stem is. So I'm going to just kind of look at both and try as best I can to put that all onto the apple on strong. And this might work fine. I don't remember when we bought those apples. These we bought yesterday, so I know they're fresh. And then I'm going to let put the lever up so the apple peeler part of this gizmo will peel the apple. So you just go along. Oh, I think it's, oh, I did it wrong. It's been a while since I did it. So you have to also, with the gizmo, you have to pull this back. Let's see. So you want to start with the apple over here.
That's right.
So I'm going to do that again, which is kind of unfortunate because the more you poke it, the more chance of it. But if it gets soft, I can tell my husband, I told you that wouldn't work, but I hope it works. Okay, so now that the thing's on that side, the way it should be, and I'm just going to go along, and it's working fine. Which
So
I'm
it
glad
can be
for.
forgiving until your apple is too soft.
See, I guess I don't have as delicate a palate because I don't really care what kind of apples I have. And so I don't know what kind this is, and my husband didn't ask what kind these were when he bought them. So we don't know what they are. This one I used a green apple because I put on here last year green apple pie filling. So I was trying to learn the difference and see which one I like best, but I don't know at this point. So I
Well,
usually
2 of the known best apples are Fiji
Gala?
and Gala.
now it'd be funny if these fresh ones
Wouldn't work.
Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna put this back.
Your husband would laugh.
Yeah, he would. And then the core will come down. Sometimes if it's not quite centered or if it's squiwampus, you've got to cut some of the core off, but it's so much easier. So squirt that on. Oops. Okay. Oh, it kind of broke off. But so then you have the core here, and you have kind of a long, it comes out like
coil.
this. Yeah, a coil, yeah. It broke in the middle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut it in half. And I have nice slices here with no core. I usually just throw away the outside one or eat them.
The ones that have.
Yeah, it has, if it's a tiny bit, I'm not that big. And so I'm just
Oh,
using
you
this.
put them in the.
No, I'm just using this as a
Measure.
measure because it takes 6 quarts. So, so it's probably big about 2 apples. So I'm gonna pause here and go through the rest of the apples, and we'll come back and cook. We'll be cooking this till it thickens, and then I'll put the 6 quarts of apples in here after it's thick, and just let it cook just long enough to soften the outside. You don't want to cook it through. So now it's starting to thicken. You do have to be I've stirred it pretty regularly so it won't scorch. And this is a pretty heavy pan. It's steaming on my lens here, so I'll back it up a hair. But it's starting to simmer, and you can see it's starting to thicken in spots. Once it starts getting hot, it thickens right away. So you can see it's kind of clumpy. I changed to a whisk because it was kind of a little clumpy, but it smooths right down. So you can see how nice and thick that is. So I'll be back. I'm gonna add the 6 quarts of apples. Okay, so I have all the apples, and it's just starting to heat. The sauce was already warm. Every time I filled up a quart of apples, I put it in here and coated it with the sauce so they wouldn't turn brown. So they're just about ready. It's just a little bit of heating through the apple is really what you're looking for. So now I'm gonna put it in the jars, and I'll be back in a minute. So I have put the filling in the jars. I was gonna show you the last one, but I got so excited being almost done, I must have forgot. So these are really nifty little funnels for canning. And so I just spooned it in here, and it came to exactly 6 quarts. I did, when I was measuring the 6 quarts of just the apples, I packed them in as tight as I could, so that, because as you cook it, even a little bit I cooked it, it kind of brings it down. Also, I bought seconds of apples, and the medium ones work best, the little ones are fine, but some of the bigger ones, I ended up cutting them in fourths. It's not gonna hurt the pie, and it was easier to put them in the jars. So at this point, I'm just gonna process them, and this isn't a tutorial on processing the canning. This is Diana's canner. It's a little different than mine. I have a steamer canner, but it's similar process.
And it is a water bath.
This is a water bath. Mine is a steamer. The thing that I don't know where I got this canned apple pie filling. I think it's very flavorful and good. I've changed a few things, but the one I post is a lot of whoever. So sorry. But she also has an elevation adjustment. So because we're between 1,001 and 3,000 feet in elevation, I'm gonna add 5 more minutes. And it suggests 25 minutes, so that's 30 minutes for me. So I'm just putting them in the water. There's already partial water in here. And I'm just putting the 6 in here. I think you can put 7 jars in here.
Mention the temperature of the jar.
The jar is, well, it's a little warm because the filling is warm. But I didn't boil the jars. They were clean jars, and I didn't boil the rings because I'm putting them into, oh no, just 6 fit. I'm putting them into cold water. So they're just in there. And actually, I was gonna show you how neat that is to fill the pot, but it's just a perfect,
About an inch.
About an inch,
Yeah.
okay. So this is so nice not to have to carry the pot of water. I do not have that in my kitchen, so it's a pretty nice thing. Here is filling up the last part of the water in the 6 quarts of pie filling. So now I'm gonna just cover it and I'm gonna bring it to boil, and then I'm gonna time it for 25 minutes plus the 5 minutes extra because we're at about 1,500 feet elevation. So we'll be back with a taste test of the pie. These are they're still warm, out of the water bath canning. And I previously had made a post about a pie crust. And so this is that same pie crust. And I also did the caramel sauce. So Bonnie, do you want to put some caramel sauce on yours? Normally I'd have ice cream too. We were just... So this is the caramel sauce with ice cream in it.
Oh, and then you still have ice cream too?
Oh yeah, it's in the caramel sauce. It's just instead of the cream and the caramel sauce. Okay.
Okay, ready?
Those are really, really good
So
tender apples.
after I did the pie crust, it was a 2-crust pie and was pretty much the whole recipe I gave you before. So I put the bottom crust in and then put the one thing of pie filling. It doesn't make a heaping one, but I think it's plenty of apples.
I do too.
And then I put the top crust on and baked it in a 425 degree oven for about 35 minutes. You want it to be good and brown on the edges. So
It's just right. The apples are not overcooked or anything.
I think it's good, flavorful apples. Anyway, hope you enjoy.